Baking a cake. Man, it's frustrated just about everyone who's ever stepped foot in a kitchen, right? Well, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're completely demystifying the science of baking so you can achieve absolutely flawless results every single time. We're going to break down exactly what goes wrong and, honestly, more importantly, the underlying chemistry of why it goes wrong. I mean, we've all been there. You follow a recipe, you put in all this time, and yet you pull this sunken, dry, or painfully crumbly cake out of the oven. It's a highly relatable pain. So why do so many cakes fail when the instructions seem so incredibly simple? Well, the answer lies in the chemistry. See, baking isn't just cooking. It's literally a strict set of chemical reactions. When a cake fails, it simply means one of those reactions was interrupted or altered. To fix this, we're going to explore 10 common mistakes chronologically. We'll start with setting the perfect stage, look at the dangers of overmixing, move into surviving the heat chamber, and finally, the final patience test. Okay, let's dive into this with phase 1, setting the perfect stage, also known as the crucial prep phase. You know, a successful bake starts way before your oven even turns on. Here's our pre-baking checklist of doom. The first 5 critical prep mistakes that'll sabotage your cake right out of the gate. We're talking wrong ingredient measurements, cold ingredients, expired leaveners, unprepared pans, and using the wrong pan size. Let's break these down one by one. Let's start with mistake number 1, the temperature of your ingredients. For a batter to properly emulsion, which just means the fats successfully trap all those tiny air bubbles you need for a light, fluffy texture, your eggs, milk, and butter absolutely must be at room temperature. Cold ingredients? They just refuse to bond. You're going to be left with a clumpy, dense foundation instead of a nice, smooth batter. Moving on to mistake number 2, and this one's a real silent kitchen killer: expired leaveners. Stuff like baking powder and baking soda, they're active chemical triggers. Over time, they actually lose their potency and, well, essentially die. And if your leavener is dead, your cake's going to be incredibly flat. It just won't rise, no matter how perfectly you mixed everything else. Mistakes 3 and 4 really come down to one word: precision. Baking is precise chemistry. If you scoop your measuring cup right into the bag and pack in even a little extra flour, it acts like a giant sponge, stealing all the moisture and leaving your cake terribly dry. And using the wrong pan size? No way. That alters your surface area to volume ratio, which fundamentally changes the required baking time and the final texture. You really can't just guess here. To close out the prep phase, we have mistake number 5, unprepared pans. Look, step 1, grease it. Step 2, line it. It's that simple. Skipping this vital step means all your hard work gets completely ruined at the finish line when the cake literally tears itself apart trying to leave the pan. Section 2, the danger of overmixing, or the mixing phase. So, the crucial point here is mistake number 6, overmixing. When you mix your batter with flour, you develop gluten, which is this structural protein network. Think of it kind of like elastic bands. A little bit of mixing gives the cake the exact structure it needs to hold its shape. But if you overmix, actually, you overdevelop those bands, making the crumb dense, rubbery, and super tough instead of delicate. So stop mixing the second your ingredients are combined. Section 3, surviving the heat chamber, the baking phase. Once that batter is in the oven, you've got to treat that door like a heavily guarded vault. Mistake number 7 is an incorrect oven temperature. If it's too hot, the outside burns rapidly before the inside structure even has time to set. But if it's too low, the batter totally misses the initial thermal shock required for a proper spring, leaving it incredibly dense. Honestly, you just have to trust an oven thermometer for sure. And that brings us right into mistake number 8, which leads to the dreaded crater, the sunken middle. I mean, we have all done this, opening the oven or air fryer door way too early just to take a quick peek. But that sudden rush of cool air hits a delicate internal structure that hasn't fully set yet, and boom, the whole center of the cake simply collapses. Just keep the door closed. Mistake number 9 is leaving it in for just a few extra minutes. Here's the thing. Baking doesn't magically stop the very second you pull a cake from the oven. Residual heat actually continues to cook it. If you leave it in the oven until it looks 100% done, those few extra minutes will completely strip its moisture, leaving you with a dry, crumbly mess. Time really is of the essence here. And this brilliantly illustrates Section 4, the final patience test, the cooling phase. Okay, you've prepped, mixed, and baked perfectly. But guess what? You are not safe yet. Mistake number 10 is born out of pure impatience, cutting the cake while it's hot. When a cake comes out of the oven, its internal structure is still incredibly fragile and actively setting. Taking a knife to it too early, that will cause your delicate masterpiece to literally crumble to pieces. Please, you must let it cool down first. So, what does this all mean for you? Will you respect the science on your next bake? As we've seen, baking a cake isn't magic, it's chronological chemistry. By avoiding these 10 common mistakes, from perfectly temped ingredients to keeping that oven door firmly shut, a flawless cake isn't just a possibility, it's pretty much a guarantee. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy baking!